All right, fellas, welcome to Man Up. I've been reading a unbelievable book. Actually, I'm done the book. It's Fearless. It's the story of Adam Brown, a a Navy SEAL, and a dad. You go through the story. The guy is unbelievable. It's probably this is the best story I've ever read. Before this, I thought Unbroken. It's tough to beat Unbroken, the story of Louis Zamperini, but this book is the guy's story is incredible. I don't want to talk about his story too much because I want everyone to read this book. I'll put a link down in the description to his book or to the book by Eric Blem. But yeah, no, geez, it makes you want to make some pretty serious changes in your life and just be a better person, a better man. And there's a few things you realize when reading this book that I'll get into in another podcast that even something as simple as goodness. Goodness is useless without strength. It's nice to be nice. We need nice people. We need good people. But without strength, without the ability to protect and defend, it's useless. Like true goodness and kindness is only allowed to thrive where freedom is allowed to exist, and to think that being nice and good is enough in this world, and that good things are going to happen to you if you're nice and good, I think it's pretty ignorant, because that is ignoring the pure fact that evil exists, and it exists in a lot of different places. But man, some places in the world, it's suffocating. It's removing the basic freedoms that we take so for granted here in the West, in North America, and I'm in Canada, and we take it for granted in Canada. We don't even, our prime minister doesn't even want to fight for the freedoms of other people, and wants to take away ours. And anyway, where strength doesn't exist, where people aren't willing to defend freedom and goodness and the simple right for children to grow up without being, like you look in Afghanistan and Iraq, without being abused, raped, whatever, where people don't fight for these freedoms, goodness does no good. Like, would they rather see a Navy SEAL come to their village and kill those bastards that are doing some terrible, unspeakable things to the people in these towns or whatever? Would they rather see some nice person who's being nice and will probably get killed or whatever? Like, this is a story of a guy, a Navy SEAL, and man, he was nice. He bought one story in the book. He bought 500, or he got people in his wife, his parents, their churches, to send over 500 shoes for villages or for kids in the mountains in Afghanistan where it was freezing during winter, who'd never worn shoes. They're wearing flip-flops. And he got them all new shoes, and he didn't do this to win the hearts and the minds. He didn't do this to somehow make them see Americans as their saviors or whatever. He did this because the kids needed shoes, and he didn't want kids to have cold feet and stuff like that. The guy was truly a good guy. And the one thing we're talking about today is someone requested that I talk about this on the podcast is quietly becoming great. And I take one of the things that we seek so greatly in our society is affirmation. We want affirmation for the work we do. We want applause. We want congratulations. We want a pat on the back. And it's indoctrinated into us at a very young age, where we're told we're special without ever having accomplished a single thing. It was bad when I was a kid. Now it's insane. They get participation awards for doing nothing, for showing up. Granted, showing up's better than not showing up, But I'm sure they give participation awards for kids that don't even participate, just for being kids, for being around. It used to be, at least when I was a kid, it was you had to earn first place, you had to earn second place, you had to earn third place. They started giving awards for like 10th place and all that stupid bullshit, but that's good. Good to award kid, as long as it says 10th place, not everyone getting the same award. But we're indoctrinated into this idea that no matter what we're going to do, we should be applauded for our effort. There's one thing that matters in this world, and it goes to being good. It goes to being successful as a man, as a father, and that is results. You know, the world doesn't care if your child came at a bad time. You still have no right, you still have no right to leave the woman to raise the child on her own. Results are what matters. You sticking around as a dad is what matters. It doesn't, in his case, not to let too much slip, it doesn't matter if you get into drugs or whatever, you still have to show up, you still have to kick that habit, and you still have to be a father to your kids and a husband to your wife. But you look at the good things that Adam Brown did, and there are a lot of them. They were always enabled because he was strong. Like if he picked up for a handicapped kid or something in high school or in school, he was able to do so because he was an athlete. He was a leader. It's nice for a nerd to pick up for another nerd. Not to put down nerds too much. Nerds are great. But it's nice when that happens, when you get a bunch of weak people banding together. But when a strong kid or when a strong man comes to their aid, not because he wants a reward for coming to their aid, probably get picked on himself, but he's strong enough to handle it. When someone of strength, coming from strength, stands up for the weak or the bullied or the disabled or whatever, the result is that much more effective. The kid gets more pride in who he is because someone who's quote unquote cool is sticking up for him, or the people making fun of him get more backlash because the strong kid's willing to kick their ass or at least fight them and do them some harm, beat them up a little bit, and they'll think twice about picking on the handicapped kid next time. So we're back to the goodness has to come from strength. I think it does have to come from strength. That's why we train in the gym. That's why we learn how to box. That's why we learn how to use a weapon. That's why we learn how to do all these different things, because it's nice to want to be good and peaceful and all this stuff, but when someone breaks in your door and tries to harm your family, you better know how to beat the hell out of them or shoot them or let your dog after them. You better know how to defend them, because in the end, while your intent might be good and honorable, it's the results that matter in the end. So that's why I think it's so important for guys, even if you grew up and you were more into computers or whatever, you weren't a popular kid or whatever, start training your body. It's important, every single one of us, that we are strong, because it's where strength is that goodness is allowed to thrive and succeed. Because there's always going to be evil. You're going to have to combat that evil. And in a guy like Adam Brown, this story is unbelievable. But goodness and justice and honor and all these good qualities, honorable qualities, are allowed to thrive when he's around, because he's strong and his teammates are strong, and these guys are really sticking up for the people that are downtrodden or weak or victimized and so forth. So that's very important. Now back to the quietly become great. We have this desire to be applauded for things that we do and rewarded and all this stuff, and social media just makes it worse. Like we post every picture of every accomplishment we ever do, and we judge our success based on the likes that we get, and so on and so forth. And we we volunteer, and we volunteer so we can show other people that we're volunteering, and so we can get some more likes and more people see who we are and what we're doing for our fellow man and whatever. But I think the true value for you as a person, and I know that it's stuff I'm trying to, it's weird because I work online and I have to show a lot of what I do and stuff, but I want to do a lot more things behind the scenes. And I want to, you have to keep on working for the sake of the work, not for the sake of the approval. When your life is based on approval, the approval of others, and when your affirmation and confidence is based on how others perceive it, then it's in their hands. It's not in your hands. You may work your ass off, and it may take forever to get that to get that breakthrough that the market rewards or whatever. But when it's dependent on approval, awards, rewards, you're gonna quit. You're gonna feel down when people don't like what you do. You're gonna seek their affection and attention more than you're gonna seek perfecting your craft, whatever that craft may be. And that extends to helping your fellow man. You should help your fellow man, because if you've volunteered, or if you've helped other people, you know that helping is its own reward. Getting attention for helping, it's just kind of, not that it defeats the purpose, and yeah, some people like to show that they're helping other people, and maybe that'll lead other people to try to help other people and volunteer and give money away or do whatever. But when you're doing it simply because that's the man you are, and that's what Adam Brown did. He helped people not to get attention, and he would talk about his failures in life more than what, you don't hear him talk about what he did or the awards that he got, or all these are afterthoughts. These are not why he did what he did. He was the man he was. He helped people the way he helped people because that is its own reward, and that's who you are. You are someone that helps people. You are someone that works hard for the sake of working hard. You are someone that keeps your head down and improves routinely. You're not after the participation award. You're not after the likes on Facebook. You're not after the likes on Instagram. You're not telling people what you're doing. You're not broadcasting what you're achieving or who you're helping. You're doing it for the sake of whatever that action is. And that is enough. That has to be enough. You can't give power over your life and your actions to the masses, to people's, to what people, no, you can't give the power over your actions and your desires to the opinions of other people. You can't have what you want to do on a daily basis, both with work and with charity, with whatever, be dependent on the affirmations of other people. And I know our school system and all this stuff is set up to make us seek that pat on the back or pat on the head or whatever. And as humans, that's what we do. We like community, and we like that affirmation. But if you really want to become great at something, and if you really want to be a good man, you have to accept the fact that people may never hear about all the good deeds you've done, and that's okay with you. And we'll leave it at that. Come to that point in your life where you're okay with people not hearing about the good deeds you're doing. You're more concerned about doing them. You're more concerned about helping other people. You're more concerned about defending other people. And that should be enough. That should be enough for all of us. We don't need the pat on the back. We don't need likes on Facebook. We're on a mission, and every day we work hard at becoming better men, and people around us and people in general are better off because of it. So that's man up for today. Man up and stop seeking approval, and come to grips with that notion that that the good you do in your life isn't going to be rewarded. That it's just good, and it's important to do good. And you're going to do it whether you get applauded, rewarded, awarded, or not. So that's it. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Do something good today. And train your ass off in the gym so that goodness in your community, in your home, is allowed to thrive and succeed. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have an awesome day. And, oh my goodness, get this book. This book's insane. The guy's story is incredible. This is probably the most inspirational story I've ever read. And yeah, I'll put a link below. Click that link, grab the book. It's awesome. Like, actually awesome. Not just like, yeah, it's awesome. It's a really good book. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Have an awesome day. This is the Man Up Podcast. And yeah, this book will hit you. It'll do good things to you. Take care.